Welcome to the Deck Dive. Today we're getting into a passage from Numbers, chapter 28, verses 1 to 15.
Right. It's one of those sections that lists out all these offerings. Very detailed.
Exactly. Looks maybe a bit dry at first glance. Lambs, flour, oil, timings. But the source material itself kind of pushes us to ask why.
Why all this relentless detail? What's it really about, beyond just the rituals?
So our mission today is to explore that why. What could this ancient schedule of devotion mean for you?
Okay, so let's start with the basics, the daily stuff. Verses 3 through 8.
Yeah, every single day. 2 male lambs, got to be unblemished, 1 in the morning, 1 around twilight.
Day in, day out. And not just the lambs, right? There's the grain offering.
Right, a specific amount, 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour. And it's mixed with a 1/4 hin of beaten oil. Very precise.
And the drink offering, too.
Yeah.
1/4 hin of strong drink for each lamb, poured out in the holy place.
The text really hammers home the regularity day by day as a regular offering, that repetition. It feels important.
It does. You have to wonder about the purpose of that sheer consistency.
And then there's that phrase, my offering, my food for my food offerings, my pleasing aroma.
Yes, that pops up. It suggests these aren't just, chores. There's something received, something valued in the act itself, like the aroma analogy implies.
Okay, so that's the daily rhythm. Then comes the Sabbath. Things change a bit.
They do. It's ramped up. You still have the regular daily offering, but in addition to that,
More lambs.
2 more unblemished male lambs, yeah. Same type as the daily ones. But here's the interesting bit. The grain offering is doubled.
Oh, okay. 2/10 of an ephah now. But the drink offering...
Stays the same, just the usual 1/4 hin.
So double the grain, same amount of drink. Any thoughts on, why that might be?
Well, it's hard to say for sure, but maybe. Maybe the extra grain represented a more substantial gift, a richer symbol for the specialness of the Sabbath.
While the drink offering remaining constant could signify, perhaps, the unchanging nature of their devotion.
Could be. It definitely marks the Sabbath as distinct, elevates it.
Right. So, daily routine, elevated Sabbath, then we get to the beginning of the month.
Yes, the monthly offerings. And these are even more elaborate.
Yeah, we're talking bigger scale now. 2 bulls, 1 ram, and 7 of those year-old male lambs. All unblemished, of course.
Quite a step up. And the accompanying offerings scale up too, right?
Exactly. Specific amounts of flour mixed with oil for each type of animal. More for the bulls, less for the ram, even less per lamb.
3/10 for a bull, 2/10 for the ram, 1/10 for each lamb, all mixed with oil.
And the drink offerings follow suit. Wine this time, 1/2 hin for a bull, 1/3 for the ram, 1/4 for a lamb.
So it's a really significant marker at the beginnings of your months, the text says, like a reset button almost.
Yeah, a recognition of a new cycle starting, maybe a bigger communal expression.
Seems likely. The scale suggests something more than just the daily rhythm, a broader community focus, perhaps renewing commitment.
And then tucked in there at verse 15, specifically for the start of the month, there's something else.
The sin offering.
Right. 1 male goat. And it's explicitly besides the regular burnt offering and its drink offering.
Which is quite telling, isn't it? Even with all this regular worship, these expressions of devotion.
There's still this built-in acknowledgement that things aren't perfect, a need for atonement.
Exactly. It's a constant reminder, woven right into the monthly cycle, that covering shortcomings is also part of the relationship.
So, okay, we've got this incredibly detailed schedule. Daily, weekly, monthly, precise amounts, specific animals. And it brings us back to that core question.
Why? Why all this? It's clearly not about God needing lamb chops or, flour.
Right. The source seems to point towards something internal, cultivating consistent devotion, maybe shaping the heart, the focus.
Precisely. It feels less about feeding God and more about feeding, a certain kind of human awareness, a rhythm of remembering, of focusing.
It's about building a habit of turning attention towards the divine, or whatever represents ultimate value for them.
Which, naturally, leads us to think about today, about you, listening.
Yeah. We aren't offering literal lambs, so what does consistent offering look like now?
What are those regular, maybe even small acts of devotion or focused attention you practice? What do you consistently give your time or energy to?
It's about translating that principle, isn't it? The regularity, the intention.
What might be your equivalent of that pleasing aroma?
Yeah.
Not literally, but metaphorically. What regular actions reflect your deepest values?
So I think the big takeaway here isn't about the specifics of bulls and grain, but about the power of consistency. Regular, intentional acts matter.
They shape us. They demonstrate what we truly prioritize. The detail in numbers underscores how seriously that consistency was taken.
So maybe a final thought to leave you with.
Reflect on one small, consistent act you could introduce or strengthen in your own life. An offering of your time, your focus, your effort.
What could that look like for you? And what might focusing on that consistency reveal about what you truly value? Something to think about.